insane. And you know what's the most heartbreaking thing?
What?
It's when you get shirts that you love and then they get ruined. And then you're like...
I had an awesome Guardians of the Galaxy shirt where it was like all of the cast or like the crew, and it was done in a certain art way or something like that. And then for some reason, I think I was here and I was cleaning the toilet here, and I got bleach
and
speckles,
that was it.
and it ruined it. Yeah.
You're not recording, are you?
I am.
Okay, good. So little short story. One of my favorite video game franchises of all time is Mass Effect. I love.
I know you like
okay,
Mass
you know.
Effect. You were wearing. You have a backpack.
Oh yeah. That's right. I completely forgot. I do. Wait a minute. I completely forgot that I was wearing it. But no, it's one of my favorite franchises. And this was years and years ago. This was like when I first started college. I had an N7 shirt that I bought off of Hot Topic when they had it, when it was like a really popular like shirt style. And I wore it for like years and years and years. I think I still have it, but I put it away because like my thing is I want to make sure that these clothes, if I ever have like a kid, just like give them these clothes and be like, these were my graphic tees from like the early 21st century, you know? But like I that's what I want to do. And so I didn't think about this, but when I asked my girlfriend to be my girlfriend,
can you be my girlfriend? More steady?
Hang on. I didn't realize the day until a couple weeks afterwards. No, I didn't realize the day until a couple weeks afterwards. And then I forgot about it until the following year on our anniversary. And she's like, hey, babe, did you ask me to be your girlfriend on November 7th because of N7? And I looked at her and I'm like, no. And I didn't plan it out.
Yeah, it just worked out.
It just happened to coincide. Like so my anniversary with my girlfriend is N7 day. Yeah. Mass Effect day. I don't know if that's meant to be. But yeah. A little short story about the whole that t-shirt. That t-shirt reminded me of that whole thing. Also, I kind of thought about this. Is my mic okay, volume wise?
Yeah, you were a little loud at first.
Okay, but it's good now.
You were good.
Okay, on the way to come record today, I had this thought in my head because I asked you if you wanted to bang.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt bad. I felt bad, and the only reason why is because I think on our 4th or 5th episode recording, you and I went to go get energy drinks at the liquor store down the street, right?
Yeah.
And I asked you, I'm like, oh, what do you usually get? Oh, I get Rock Stars and something. You said something else like Monsters and something like that, right? Yeah. And then I introduced you to Bang. And now every time we record, we drink Bangs.
We drink Bangs now, yeah. That's what fuels this podcast. The unofficial
part
sponsor.
Part of me is like kind of like mad at myself because I shouldn't be encouraging to drink energy drinks. Because like this isn't just like pure energy.
No,
this is like pre-workout kind of crap.
So like that's the thing. It's potent brain and body fuel. So it's like that's the logo here. But it is for workout. Yes, that's the thing. But
it's somewhat like for workout. It's also an energy drink, but it's like And so I'm just like, oh my god. So it's basically I don't know if it's as bad.
Well, the thing is that I don't think it's terrible because it says right here it's like 0 carbs, 0 sugar.
Yeah, you can also do the same thing for like 0 sugar Rock Stars.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
but I trust it
for the time being.
For the time being, there's no effects right now.
3 or 4 episodes in a row where we've drank Bangs.
Let's keep it going.
Do we want to? We're gonna get like pretty like.
Well, I only drink these. Well,
you know what? I will say this.
How many times do you? Well, I think
not a sponsor.
It's not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. If they want to, though.
If they want to,
then wouldn't be bad. We're tapping 10 episodes in now.
Or G Fuel, whoever gets there first.
Or G Fuel.
Yeah,
I drink G Fuel. I've been here on this podcast with G Fuel a couple times.
I've seen. They just love to sponsor anyone. I've seen like TikTokers.
Hey, look! Don't go bad talking our potential sponsors here.
No, I'm not bad talking. I'm just saying they see a lot of potential in content creators, so they're willing to
we got to be. Then here's the plan. If we want to get sponsored by G Fuel, I got to be a pro gamer, so I got to start dedicating myself to like pro gaming. Not Rainbow Six. That's way too hard.
Man, I haven't played Rainbow Six in a year, I think. It's been a while.
I haven't played it in a while because most of my friends just kind of stopped. They've been
really?
on, most of them switched over to Ghost of Tsushima and some
you know
others
what?
are playing.
No, my friends are playing that too. I mean, I'm still in the PlayStation chat with my friends.
Yeah.
But they're playing that, and I hear that's good, but I haven't gotten it yet.
I want to play it, but right now I'm going through Assassin's Creed Odyssey. There's a lot of stuff.
You gotta prioritize.
Yeah, so starting this podcast off with
5
feeling
minutes
bad, feeling bad that I'm getting into Bang and whatnot.
I mean, I drink a water too along with it, so I
just drink caffeine. It's like my crack.
I'm trying to dilute it, but it's still, the thing is, it works. Bang works.
They're not sponsoring us yet. You don't need to speak well about them.
I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying.
Our word is not free, sir. Our words are not free. We need.
If there was a reason why some of these episodes are good, it's because of Bang.
Are you ready to start this off?
Ready to start.
All right, here we go. All right. Hello, citizens. Welcome to Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour, coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, aiming to be Whittier's #1 podcast for all things nerdy. I'll be your host today, Brian. Rene. There we go.
Hey.
You know what? I thought about this at work today. Mm-hmm. I was like, do we actually need a script for our intros now? Because I feel like they flow smoothly. I even started saying it in my head.
Oh, really?
Just without thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It'd be interesting. How about for episode 11, we try not to?
Not use a script at all?
No, this is the last time we're using a script.
Okay. I got
this
it.
This is
now
the last
during the week in between this episode and next week. I'm really like, okay, I got to remember both the outro and the intro from now on.
Yeah, exactly. The outro for this one, you could say use a script.
Okay.
As your producer, I'm allowing you to.
That was my
All right. So on today's agenda,
yes,
we are going to revisit one of the topics that we kind of discussed last week. Mm-hmm. Christopher Nolan. Did you actually watch Interstellar, or have you seen it recently?
No, recently I rewatched it.
Okay. So this is my first time watching it because last week I said that I hated Christopher Nolan. Then I took that back and I said it's not that I hate him. It's just that I'm jealous.
You're jealous of his creativity.
Somewhat similar
kind of
to
like Jon Favreau.
There you go. So we're going to be discussing that. But one of the biggest topics that has come out not today, this week, has to do with our good old buddy and friend.
Where is he?
Oh my god. It goes quiet.
Right. So it's this topic came up. It was this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of at the start of this week. Yeah. So from what I've been seeing, it's very, very separated. We're getting a lot of people that are for this thing and a lot of people who are against it. Yeah. But the people that are for it, they're interesting groups of people because part of it, they're diehard fans, and the other group of people that are also defending it are, film critics, film buffs, people that actually understand the movie industry. So it's a very interesting topic. I think that we're going to spend a lot of time talking about this today.
we're gonna dissect both sides. We're not gonna focus on our opinions per se, but we're also gonna look both sides into it, see the good and bad, pros and cons of it. And stuff, so.
And I did a little bit of research into this because one of the biggest questions, it will be revealed, but there are some big questions when it comes to this sort of stuff. So we'll revisit our good old buddy.
I like how we don't say it.
They can't get us if we don't say their name.
If we don't say the name.
They won't know.
No cease and desist.
You know that's a thing, right? That they actually come after people who talk bad about them.
Man.
Yeah, it's kind of
well, that's the way also too, I've seen this with a lot of people that I know that work for them. They can't say that they work for them on any sort of media platform.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you can't because you represent them.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you can't
so they
talk
have to.
ill about it either, even after you leave too.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Because the game theorist actually kind of talked about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he actually said that he's not invited to a lot of Disney. Did I say the word? Oh my god! The red dot comes down.
There's a secret thing called editing, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, I'm not gonna do that. But he's actually said that he's not invited to a lot of Disney stuff just because of the theories that he's posted out there about Disney.
Really?
Yeah, because I guess it makes them look bad, so they don't communicate with them. at all.
That's kind of being nitpicky.
And I mean, they're allowed to do it. All right, so should we get on to the first topic about Christopher Nolan?
Yes.
Okay, you had the bright idea of actually doing this, so I want to.
This is the first time we're going to be doing something like this.
Usually, I'm the one that edits the music on there, so that's pretty much just edited on after post and whatnot, and how we do the intros and stuff like that. Our voices don't naturally sound like they're on TV. I wish they did.
I know, yeah.
But it makes it. I do a little bit of editing magic, but this is going live, buddy. This is live. You ready, Rene?
Ready.
All right, rock this before we start the intro, or before we start the topic.
The Nolan Corner.
It's as if I was in that movie myself.
So this is a new segment we decided to do because Brian again has mentioned that he doesn't watch a lot of Nolan movies for certain reasons. So this week, Brian had the pleasure to watch Interstellar.
Yes, for the first time ever, even though that movie came out in 2014.
So before we talk about before we actually get into it, so you never saw it at all. Have you seen a trailer for it before?
I've seen trailers. I know how the movie ended. The only reason why I personally didn't put myself to go watch it was because of Inception. Inception is the movie that I relate to when I think of Christopher Nolan. And
that's fair, because that is, other than if you take away the Dark Knight movies and you just think about Nolan and all his movies and all their what became big and stuff, Inception is probably the pivot of Nolan
it's the movie
movies.
that pushed him up there.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer also did the music for Inception, right?
Yes.
Okay, that explains why.
It's basically if Tim Burton and Danny Elfman, that's always a pair.
Okay.
Whenever they do movies.
Well, everyone who pretty much Nolan helps cast, they're all pairs because they're all in that movie.
He likes to recycle his.
That's
actors.
what my girlfriend was saying. Is all the actors are in all the movies, and I'm like, oh yeah, because Anne Hathaway is in Inception. She's also is she?
No, she's in Dark Knight.
She's in Dark Knight
Rises.
and she's in Inception. Or not Inception. Interstellar. Interstellar. Yeah. So, and Christian Bale was in The Prestige and was also used in The Dark Knight. And
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in a lot. Or he was in Inception and then Dark Knight Rises. And then Tom Hardy was in Inception, Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk.
Oh my God, man. Okay.
So Michael Caine is the one he favors the most, though.
Who was it in Interstellar? The professor?
Yeah, he was the professor.
He was the professor and Alfred in The Dark Knight.
Alfred, and then also he was in Dunkirk as well, I think. And then he was in Inception. Yeah, he played the
My
dad.
God, man.
He loves Michael Caine.
Is there this whole conspiracy about Nolan that I might start piecing together? So the next 2 episodes, I'm probably not going to be here because I'm going to be shut down.
No, because directors like to do that. I mean, Quentin Tarantino recycles a lot. Samuel Jackson's in every other one. I think there's 1 or 2 he's not in.
Yeah.
But,
no, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then, I think the one that doesn't get recycled, I think because, he is what he is Bruce Willis. He was only in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So directors are notorious for, recycling actors just because, they know that, they'll do it for them, or because just because, maybe they wrote it for that actor specifically.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So
okay.
Short segment. We're not going to spend that much time on it, but we're going to try to do this every week because I still have to watch Dunkirk.
Me too. I've never seen Dunkirk.
Okay,
so
we both. That's
going
to be a mutual thing.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch The Prestige. I saw it years ago because that movie was in 2006.
Yeah.
So I saw that before Inception. And I think that was.
So that came out. So Batman Begins came out in 2005, and then Prestige came out after that. Okay.
Yeah. So the only thing I will say is this: we should not count the Dark Knight trilogy within his films, because I feel like the Dark Knight trilogy isn't necessarily an original screenplay. It's not.
That's true.
Because everything else wasn't adapted by something else. It was pretty much his own interpretations of what, the concepts and his interpretation of those things. The Dark Knight, even though it does have that Nolan tint in, the cinematography and the Nolan angles and the Nolan storytelling and all this other stuff, it's not original enough for me to say oh, well, you know what? The Dark Knight trilogy is far better than Inception. And we can throw that out. So I say that we should not compare these movies that we're watching with the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, you've seen Inception.
Yes.
Okay, and this is my first time seeing Inception. So
you mean Interstellar?
Interstellar. It's all these
Sorry, guys. Interstellar is what we're talking about.
So Interstellar.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions at all? Because I feel like I can, while talking about Interstellar, I can explain to you my displeasure with Christopher Nolan. Not my hatred towards him, because I kind of want to take that back. I don't hate Christopher Nolan. I think that he is a fantastic director, but there is a key reason as to why I have somewhat of a displeasure with him. And I'm not going to lie, for some reason, Nolan has been haunting me this week. I'm not even joking.
Really?
Because when I watched Interstellar 2 nights later, I had a dream that was kind of in the direction of Nolan. Like it felt like a Nolan movie to me. And then all day today, there were 3 different Facebook posts regarding Christopher Nolan. I'm not even joking about it.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes posted a little snippet that said, "Oh, who's a better director, Christopher Nolan or David Fincher?"
Oh,
and I'm
I saw that,
what
actually.
What the hell is going on here? And then, my post on Facebook about Christopher Nolan, that started going up again. And then Robert Pattinson came out with a whole Christopher Nolan thing, saying that when he was trying out for Tenet, that he hid his what is it called? His what do you call it when an actor goes audition? He hid his audition from Christopher Nolan when he went to go audition for Batman in this new Batman movie.
Yeah.
So I guess Nolan never knew that Robert Pattinson was going for Batman. But there was the Christopher Nolan name mentioned on there. So I think now life is coming after me and saying like, "Oh, you have a displeasure towards Nolan? Let's keep reminding you about this." So we'll see. We'll go back to this section though, in future episodes. But what do you want to know about my thoughts regarding Interstellar?
So I want to know, obviously, your first initial reaction of the movie itself.
Like overall?
Overall, right now, what did you feel after the movie was over?
It was fantastic. I think it hit me on a level that no other movie has hit me before because it spoke to my inner love of space. Everything about that movie was so phenomenal, especially the science behind it.
I was rewatching that movie and I'm thinking about it the whole time watching it, and I'm just like, I wonder how Bryan feels about the whole like science of it.
I freaking loved it.
Like the way so one of the things that I loved in that movie was when they first initial land on that planet where it's 7 years per hour. That's what they thought.
No, it was.
Oh, it was? Okay.
It was.
But then they got, and then did you feel that suspense? Like those stakes when they're even trying to get everything, and then like you see Anne Hathaway's character, like there's like some sort of thing coming at us and it's a big tidal wave coming at them.
Yeah.
And they're like trying so hard to get everything, and then, they get stuck on it for like how long?
2 hours.
It was 2 hours.
About an hour or something.
Yeah. And then they go back and it's been already
23 years.
Yeah, 23 years.
And like a couple months.
So what did you feel?
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Because, like, to me, when science explains something and it has consequences, those are consequences. That's the beauty about filmmaking, is that when a consequence happens or you're explaining a consequence, you have the ability to write out or rewrite your consequence and give people the solution that they want, right? But with this, it felt like every explanation made sense. And there were going to be consequences if it wasn't followed. Like for me, when they had to explain the wormholes, like that was great. Yeah. I was like, oh yes, I already knew about this. Yeah, it's like about bending space time. Yeah. And I looked at my girlfriend because we were both watching it, and he's like, oh, can you explain how this wormhole can take us from one place to another? Yeah, think of point A and point B on this piece of paper. What the wormhole does is you like put these 2 pieces together and then stick a pencil through it, and that's pretty much what a wormhole is. It takes you from one place to another while bending space and time at another point. And I'm like, yeah. This is what I want. This is beautiful. And then when they went out to explain every hour is 7 years, it's like, yes, because that's relativity. Yeah. That is the concept of relativity.
Now you got me doing
relativity.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the concept of it. It sometimes when you talk about this to people, they sometimes don't get it. And Interstellar made it accessible to a lot of people. That was great. That's what I love about it. I'm no quantum physicist, but I do love to hear this and try to learn more about it. It interests me. Yeah. So yeah, I freaking loved it.
Now, Matthew McConaughey.
Fantastic.
He wasn't a person that we actually expected to be good in this movie too, because of his track record so far of like movies that he did before.
I don't think he was Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
I think he actually really took himself out of being Matthew McConaughey to play the character that was there. Half the time, I'll tell you right now, I completely forgot that it was McConaughey.
Yeah, because you're so into the character and the situations that they're in and stuff.
Yeah.
Another one, obviously, the score. The score was actually really good. Like, all the music I liked because it wasn't just like your typical kind of like Hans Zimmer. It felt, oh, this is what he made for this movie.
Yes. So you know how most scores in movies end up being like super integrated into the background that you kind of forget that you're listening to a score, and it flows so well with what's going on. Yeah. So I felt like the score for this one was very noticeable. There were a lot of times where I caught myself paying attention to the score and then feeling how the score related to the scenes. It bothered me a little bit that I was paying that much attention to the score because I wanted to invest myself in the film more than the actual music.
The music was just so beautiful. Like
there you go.
It felt like it felt like space music.
Yes, it felt. It felt like the score was. Like if you've ever had a piece of cake where the actual cake and icing blended so well together, but you can still tell them apart. Yeah. You can tell what the icing flavor is and then tell what the actual cake flavor is. That's what the music did with this movie. It never blended in together where you didn't notice one from the other. You can tell the beauty of the icing, and you can also tell the beauty of what you're seeing. Yeah. And that's what I felt the score was doing with this.
So another one, the robots, TARS and Case.
So they bothered me.
Really?
Because I love them. But I knew I sound like a psychopath when I talk about this.
I hated them,
but I love them. No, I was bothered by them because knowing Nolan, I know that they had a significant casting. And
there was a reason,
Yes, and I'm like, why do they sound so familiar? They sounded familiar. But then they were so focused on the fact that there was humor with them. What's your humor percentage at? 60%. Okay, why do you keep going back to that point? And so when the credits roll, who were they? Bill Irwin, Jon Stewart. And I'm like, there you go. 2 comedians. They had to be, like, I knew there was a significance there.
Yeah. They had to be, like, sarcastic.
Yes.
That was the whole great. That was really great about them, is that they were just so sarcastic.
Yes, and a lot of sci-fi movies end up casting AIs that are just kind of like side characters. They end up putting, important figures or important actors of sci-fi in those roles. Like, what was it? Rogue One. Yeah, Alan Tudyk.
One. Yeah, Alan Tudyk. I was just gonna say that Alan Tudyk was cast as K1, and he was great.
Yeah. There's always some sort of significance with like some droid out in Star Wars. Star Wars is like a perfect example of that, basically. So I kind of felt like there was. They were great. I think that the AI, TARS, and Case were fantastic. They did feel a little bit threatening at first, but then you kind of understood why. It's because they aren't humans. They're supposed to be robots, but you can communicate to them like human beings, which is great. It's good. I enjoyed them.
Now, upon watching it, when they land to where they find Dr. Mann,
Matt Damon,
did you expect it was going to be Matt Damon?
No, and I made fun of it because I'm like, oh, so now he's deserted on 2 planets?
That's the whole joke of it. That was like, I remember so this movie came out before The Martian, but the thing is that I remember that they were marketing The Martian or talking about it before this movie came out and stuff, like, oh yeah, Matt Damon's going to be in the movie The Martian based on the book and stuff. And I remember in the theater, I saw this in the theater, and when everyone saw it was Matt Damon as Dr. Mann, everyone was laughing in the theater. They were just like, what?
Why? How are you stuck on another planet?
Yeah, like, how this movie? Like, so, but what did you think as Matt Damon, because this is what really made the movie not weird for me, but just the way Matt Damon was portraying Dr. Mann. How did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I didn't think
like
that
his character.
Yes, because his character makes sense. You don't, because like think about what Dr. Mann was saying. He basically didn't even put a time to wake up. Yeah. He just accepted death. He said, I'm just going to put myself to sleep and die. Yeah. This guy wasn't going to die. He was just going to be in cryo sleep for the rest of his life. Yeah. His body would have never decomposed. I don't know how that machine works, but I don't think his body would have decomposed. No, yeah. So he would have just been asleep forever. Yeah. So for a man to do that, then to wake up and see a human face, yes, this man's going to go crazy. That's why he did what he did. Yeah. We should have said spoiler alert, but I mean, it's kind of self-implied if you haven't seen it, But that's pretty much what led him to be who he is. As far as Matt Damon goes as an actor, I've always adored Matt Damon. I think that Matt Damon is fantastic in any role that you put him.
Yeah.
In The Martian, he played a really good scientist who did not know how to survive.
Yeah.
And managed to somehow survive Mars and get back to Earth. He played that character well. And I read the book. I think that Matt Damon is a perfect representation of the character from The Martian.
I love The Martian as a movie. It's really good.
He did a really good job playing Dr. Mann.
Yeah.
And he played a really excellent job as Shelby in Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, yeah.
I
haven't watched that movie yet. Is it good?
Check it out. It is like the best. It is a movie for non-racing watching people to love racing.
Okay.
People who never watched any form of racing have watched Ford versus Ferrari and gone like, is this really a thing? Yeah, it's really a thing. My girlfriend has never really paid much attention to racing, and she asked so many questions about the 24-hour Le Mans. I pretty much told her the history of it. And I'll tell you right now that, and most people will disagree with me, but I think that one of the greatest stories in automotive history has always been the feud between Ford and Ferrari. That has always been one of the greatest things out there. So I would recommend it.
Okay, definitely. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
So a couple more. I think we're down to our last two questions, and then we'll be done. Now, the one thing, this next question is the one of how everyone kind of didn't really necessarily get the movie, or either it was, people were like, well, that's not how it really happens. The whole going into a black hole thing. What were your thoughts on that when Matthew McConaughey was the one that went through the black hole and then...
Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Why does it matter? I mean...
Because there were so many... Because even, what's his name? The science guy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, he was like, that's not how it is. But I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you've never went through a black hole.
No one has. We haven't
has.
sent a probe. We haven't gotten any sort of feedback besides imagery.
It's the same thing as time traveling. If you put it in a movie, you can kind of technically do whatever you want with it because there is no definitive evidence. There never will be.
There never is.
Yeah.
So for me, it was interesting because I think that this is probably one of my favorite parts. And I kind of got mad at Nolan for allowing this to happen because it was pretty genius. But when... Cooper went into space that I don't know what he referred it to as.
Yeah.
But did you notice that those frames were represented by fabric?
Really?
They were strands.
Oh.
So the fabric of time. He was manipulating it.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is pretty. I love that representation of it. But that's fine. Like most people need to understand that there's a point where fiction and nonfiction are allowed to meet.
Yeah.
A lot of this was nonfiction.
Yeah.
Yes, it is fictional because we still don't have the means to travel to space, and we still don't have the means to allow 2 years of cryosleep to get all the way to Saturn, right? Or to even go into a wormhole, like for that matter. We don't have the means of technology to even do any of that stuff. So that's the fictional part. But a lot of the nonfiction parts is the discussion of sciences when it comes to, wormholes and how they represent and, relativity according to time and space.
Yeah.
All those different things, that's nonfiction. Now, you have to go back into fiction when you talk about black holes because all these hypotheses that, want to discuss black holes, they haven't been proven yet. We still don't know what a black hole is. We don't know the dangers of going through a black hole.
Yeah.
And I think that Nolan pretty much did a really good job directing what could happen if a person goes into a black hole.
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to argue about that, I'll tell you why was there no time restrictions on the second planet? They focused so much on hours to years on the first planet, why all of a sudden did the second planet not have that importance?
Yeah.
So there were details that were missed out. If you have a problem with people going through a black hole, you should also have a problem with the amount of time it took to travel from planet 1 to planet 2 and the amount of time that was spent on planet 2 to get things done. So there's still a lot of details. Also, how did Cooper manage to get out of the black hole and then be back in a certain time frame when his daughter was still alive?
That's another thing. It's just like, I took it as, okay, he was in the black hole and then like right then and there, as soon as he was done, because we find out that obviously those, I guess like the people or the things that they created that whole like
in the
time,
future.
Yeah, in the future, I guess they, just spat out Cooper by the time like those, I guess the Rangers found him in space right when he was about to be low on oxygen.
They just probably just let him be there. It's like, oh, well, we're going to restart you right here.
Yeah, we'll put you right there.
It's a safe exit to a solution.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I took it as
not
that,
a big deal.
yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. What was the last question?
Last one, and this is basically, what did you think about the ending? Overall.
Okay.
After the movie, and then that's how they decided to end the movie.
Thank you for that last question because it's going to lead me into this thing and why I kind of feel like this segment was necessary for me to explain. not my hatred, but my displeasure to Christopher Nolan. The thing is that Christopher Nolan, and I had this discussion with someone on Facebook, I don't dislike or hate Christopher Nolan. I like his films. I can appreciate it. I meme when I say that I don't like Inception. I think Inception is a fantastic film. My problem with Christopher Nolan is that a lot of the films that he has had more creative writing, like more to do with the creative writing, is that Nolan wants to make his viewers feel smart. There's not a single problem with that. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. If you as a viewer want to feel smart watching a movie, by all means go for it. But if I catch on to the tropes that you're doing, then I can also say you're trying way too hard to make me feel smart when I already know what you're doing. And it's too easy. Every director, I feel, needs to have their own directing style. We all know Quentin Tarantino has a directing style. Guillermo del Toro has his own style as well. David Fincher is one of my favorite ones, only because the way I like to explain it, and I think that most people will disagree with me, is his plots have always been A to B, but the actual ending to most of his movies have always been A to C to D. They've never been the main plot. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, for example. The main plot wasn't about trying to figure out who the killer was. It was always the girl with the dragon tattoo trying to figure out her own way. That was plot C. That was the end point to that whole thing. But it was a side plot until it became a main plot. Gone Girl, same thing. It was never to figure out where the wife went. It was always, what was Ben Affleck's character supposed to do? Like, how are they going to get back together? Or, you know,
what was going to happen between the relationship?
Exactly. The whole missing part was just a side plot. But it felt like it was a main plot, you know? So David Fincher does that. Christopher Nolan just adds things to make you feel smart. Inception did that. You know, when you look back at Inception, it gave you the beginning, and the beginning was all confusing until bit by bit you started to piece together that these people have figured out dream manipulation. Same thing with Interstellar. Nothing made sense until Cooper had to go to space. What was the problem with Earth? Why are there dust storms? Why is there a food shortage? Why is it all of a sudden that, you know, the government is trying to suppress the moon landing and say that it was propaganda to force the Soviet Union to, you know, waste resources on technology, which, by the way, that's relevant to now. Because most people, I mean, think what you want to think. Nothing against them, but I am 100% for space travel because we need to find things out there to learn about ourselves. But that's stuff that's going on now. But, you know, details that you had to piece together until he goes to space to figure out what this is about. Nothing made sense until then. I kind of already figured out what Nolan's twist was, probably about a third of the way into the movie. I knew that Cooper was the one telling Murph that there was a solution to
that's
black
the thing.
holes.
I wasn't really surprised at that part.
No,
that's the thing.
It's kind of obvious. If you really paid attention, then yes. But you know what? It made people feel smart because you're like, oh, I never thought of that. Now, I have more of an appreciation for his brother, Jonathan Nolan. And the only reason why is because of him and his wife writing the first season of Westworld. Never in my life have I ever had a surprise twist than 2/3 of the way into Westworld. And I had, friend of the show, Bishop watch it with me. He recorded. He has the photo of my reaction.
Oh, really?
He does. And I want to see if I can get it because I think either his girlfriend or he might have it.
Send that to me,
But have you seen the first season of Westworld?
Yes.
Do you know the scene I'm talking about?
I think it's the reveal.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. But because if some people haven't seen it, it is a phenomenal film. It is a not film, scene. I have never been more shocked in my life watching that. Yes.
Right?
I drank myself to try to get away, like to get my mind off of that. Jonathan Nolan, in my opinion, is a far better writer than Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan, sure, he can direct, right? But Interstellar was much better than Inception, in my opinion, because Nolan probably had a better, or Jonathan probably had a better art.
They're supposed to be doing something else for HBO, another HBO series. Them too, Jonathan Nolan and his wife. They're supposed to be writing something else.
Not an HBO series. It was on Prime.
Oh, what is it? It's
Fallout.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. That's why I cried. That's why I cried. I still have to edit that video and post it up there. But that's why I cried because to think about this, Jonathan Nolan understands. Christopher Nolan never gives his characters proper conflicts. Oh, that was the thing that I was supposed to mention. It'll be a quick point and then we'll move on to the next thing because I know we're already at like 30 minutes, right? Yeah. The thing is this, that Christopher Nolan always focuses on 2 arcs and never leaves you satisfied with one.
That's so true.
Yes.
And Interstellar is the proof of that because we're following both Cooper and his daughter.
No.
Oh.
Yes and no. Yes and no. The only exception, think about it this way. Go back to Inception.
Yeah.
Because Inception and Interstellar, yes, they have that whole 2 focused arc things. But think about how Inception finished and how Interstellar finished. If we look at Interstellar, yes, you're right. You're focusing on the daughter's arc as well as Cooper, right? So you have 2 different arcs, but both have a proper solution with one of them being the main focus. The solutions to this is that Murph is satisfied with the fact that her father actually came back.
Oh, yeah.
She is at peace. She tells Cooper, no parent should ever see their own kid die. Cut the line, you're done. My story is over. It is, I am satisfied. I've helped save humanity with your work. We're done. Cooper's ending is his work was never to come back to his family. It was always to try to progress his nature and his fuel for what made him him, which is why he goes out to find Dr. Brandt. It was never to just come back home.
No, yeah.
If he did, he would have never left his daughter. He always wanted to do more. Right?
Yeah.
So his solution is to go out and find Dr. Brandt. That is the main focus. Each arc had a proper solution with the main one having the best one that left you satisfied. It is not a full solution, but it left you satisfied. What's wrong with Inception?
Oh, we never find out.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Your arc should have been Leonardo DiCaprio's character being satisfied with the fact that he is finally at peace with his family.
Yeah.
That should have been the arc. Why the hell did he need to essentially have the other arc be standstill? Yeah. Oh, well, we don't know if he's in purgatory or if he's dreaming or if he's alive because the top never stopped moving.
Yeah.
But it also wobbled. F off. Seriously?
No.
Yeah.
That's very, because that was the biggest thing that people, for Inception was the ending was like, oh, do you like the ending or do you not? And you really broke it down to the point where you convinced me that that's actually that's not really a good ending.
No.
You convinced me right now.
Yeah. Good.
Right here.
Right now.
August 9th, 4:57. Brian convinced me that Inception, the ending, was a terrible ending.
It's not a bad ending, but it is a very unsatisfactory ending.
Especially for characters in that movie that we've followed and, all the stuff they've been through.
Yeah.
It's not a satisfying ending.
Would you have been happier if we would have known that Leonardo DiCaprio's character was just happy?
Yeah.
Yes, because that's all that freaking mattered to him.
That's all that mattered.
He lost his wife.
Yeah.
Through dream manipulation. She didn't know what was a dream and what was real. His happiness was his kids and being with his kids again. So just leave it there.
Yeah.
Because that could have been a good ending for him. But then to have something be in a standstill where we don't know if it is or isn't, and then to come out and then meme it and be like, well, it's up to the audience interpretation. That is stupid.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I also have the right to say, you're dumb.
That's the same thing with the Dark Knight Rises ending too. And
Bingo.
You can say the same thing.
Is Batman alive or is he dead?
Yeah.
Yes. So I will still see Tenet. I still want to see Tenet because it's interesting.
Yeah. No, but then now that you've said that, because Tenet has Inception vibes.
Yes.
And that now that you said that, it does make it kind of weary if the ending's going to be good or not.
Look, if I go watch in Tenet, right, and it ends the same way that Inception does, I'm gonna get off.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll see if hopefully theaters will open up then. Yeah. But I'll get off my seat. And I'm just giving the finger right then and there, just at the screen, going like, "What the hell is this? What the hell did I just watch?" Nolan.
Just throwing something at the poster at the movie.
There's nothing wrong with what he's doing.
No.
Because David Fincher does the exact same thing in his own style.
Yes.
But at least with David Fincher, I feel like I am learning his directing style, whereas Nolan is just trying to make me feel smart, which makes me just be at a displeasure with him.
No, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So we will make these segments shorter as we go on.
Yeah.
That is my final, that is my overall thought to it.
Okay.
You never know. Maybe some people will come back, but that is my thing with Nolan. So we'll see. I think that maybe if we have the time this week, we watch Dunkirk.
Yes.
Or should we watch The Prestige again?
I can watch either one. Depends.
I say The Prestige.
You want to do Prestige?
Yeah, because I think that we should revisit an old one before we get to his most recent one.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, perfect. So that concludes
Nolan Corner.
Yes. All right. So you introduce this one. Do you mind if I take over this one and introduce what the next topic is about?
Go for it.
Okay, perfect. So the next topic, we got about, what, 30 minutes-ish?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, perfect. Enough time to talk about this. But over this week, Disney has come out and said that Mulan is finally coming out. Yay! Yes! At Disney Plus $30. So, I, for one, am...
So let's talk about our quick initial opinions or thoughts about it.
Okay, well, before we get to the whole price and stuff like that, are you a person that's excited about Mulan?
No.
Really?
I will be honest. I will be completely honest right now. That movie, when when I saw the trailer and then all the stuff that they said that's going to be different from the animated movie, I was not excited because Mulan is actually a favorite animated Disney movie of mine. And when they announced that they're going to be a live action, because waiting for seeing all these Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, it just made me think okay, when they're going to get to Mulan, I'm super excited. I want to see the live action Mulan. And then they said, yes, we're going to do Mulan next. I'm like, sweet. And then they're like, we're going to take the music out of it. What? And I'm like, and then it's like,
you're not going to make a man out of me?
Yeah.
What?
And then we're going to take Mushu out. What? And I'm like, I'm just, and then they said it's going to be mostly action. Huh? I'm like, you should see my face that I'm making. The thing is, okay, so this is my thoughts about it. The thing is, okay, you've made every single live action Disney movie exactly like how it is, or if not, you did the same. You kept the music in, you kept the characters that were specific in it. You did so many things. You kept it true at least. But for some reason, when you want to do Mulan, you want to take up the music. Now, I'm thinking in my head. This is my opinion. First of all, I think that Disney doesn't want to get the risk of doing the song Be a Man because how everything is.
Part of it, yes. Part of it, no.
Yeah.
You got to consider that Disney had to get the okay from the Chinese government, the Chinese hand, essentially, to pretty much move forward with this film. It's kind of already out there. I don't think you really need to look that hard to understand that Mulan wasn't going to be made if the Chinese government, whatever it is, the control pretty much isn't okay with it.
Hollywood always has to be sure that it is good. Whatever movie they do, it's good for a Chinese audience.
It's good.
That's where they make most of their money.
Yes. To be more precise, though, you have to say international release.
Yeah.
Because even though international release, a majority of it is the Chinese market, you're still focusing on other markets out there.
Yeah.
Most of these movies that come out, Star Wars had multiple posters come out from China.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest market. But
in those Star Wars posters, they had to put different. They had to change them up and stuff. I've seen them and
Did you see the one where they had to edit Finn to be smaller?
I saw that.
Yeah, it's
kind of bad.
It makes it so that Disney's an easy target to kind of be like, you stand for one thing but then do this. It's obviously it sucks, but that's what ends up happening with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You got to think about it this way: the movies aren't made essentially to please you as an individual.
Yeah.
It's to please the biggest population, and right now the biggest market is the international audience. They are the ones that are making a majority, more than half of their revenue back.
Yeah, definitely.
If a movie is costing $50 million and it makes $300 million, more than $150 million of that is from the international market.
So the thing is, that's my discrepancies with it, is that I wasn't really excited because of the drastic changes they made with it. And I wasn't going to see Mushu. I was like, oh, cool. Maybe Eddie Murphy can come back and do the voice of Mushu. That would be cool, because, James Earl Jones came back to do the voice of Mufasa in Lion King, which was great. And I was like, okay, cool. But then they said no Mushu. And I was like, okay. So they said it's going to be a more realistic kind of thing. And
Can I throw you an example that might actually a little bit change your mind? Jungle Book. I keep in mind that when Jungle Book was announced, most people, and it wasn't even advertised this way, most people thought that the Jungle Book was going to stay true to the actual animated series or the animated movie, right? And then, did you watch Jungle Book?
I did watch part of it. I mean, I did like the one thing I do like about Jungle Book is that Bill Murray is blue.
Yes. He was
casting.
a really good blue.
You could tell in the voice too, how his relationship with Mowgli. You felt that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I liked about the Jungle Book.
So, watching The Jungle Book, it isn't as close to its counterpart as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Even the music wasn't, really similar to what the movie was.
But the tone was actually pretty more serious.
Yes.
I noticed that.
The disappointment, I think, came from Jungle Book when Disney didn't say that it was going to be an accurate representation of the cartoon.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what Disney's trying to do with Mulan. It's preparing people to understand this isn't your Mulan animated.
Mm-hmm.
This is the live action version of Mulan that we want to tell differently. We want to try to make it as culturally accurate as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, but then there's that witch that throws, knives in her nails.
Yeah.
Okay, they are allowed to have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
And this is just me providing devil's advocate.
No, that's fair.
You know?
No, it's fair.
Yeah, so like I'm in the same boat as you. And when they said no music, no Mushu, it's just kind of like, where are you going with this? You know, it's if it's more action, great. I don't have an issue with that because yes, how badass would it be to see Mulan kicking a bunch of Mongolian asses?
Yeah.
This is great, but you got to give me something. You know. So I completely understand with you on this. For me, I've been excited for Mulan because she's my favorite Disney princess. Mulan is fantastic.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me a young Chinese woman who was basically suppressed and looked down upon by her family all of a sudden becomes a savior of a nation? Hell yeah, man, that's fantastic.
Mind you, the time that she was doing it, posing as a man in an army during that time is a very dangerous situation.
They showed it in the movie. They were going to kill her, execute her on the spot.
Yeah.
And what did he do? Put his sword down because she saved his life.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that action, she would have been dead.
Definitely.
So Mulan is a movie. I feel like it is a very good movie to show, kids essentially what it is to be like, to be something that people believe you can't be.
Yeah.
It's not about like, oh yeah, women can do whatever a man can do. It's not so much that. It's more, it could be that, but it could be more along the lines of like, if people tell you, that you can't do something, strive your hardest to do it and, represent your honor, not yours, but you might also represent your family, your friends, anybody. It's about the actions that you do. That's why I'm excited to see Mulan because to revisit the story, dude, freaking yeah. Like,
well, a lot of people have said too is that like instead of using the actual music with lyrics, they said they're going to probably use those songs, but just in a score.
Yes.
So which is fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I did hear the one where in the trailer, I think it was "Who I Am." Yeah. You hear the score in the background when the Mulan title comes on, and you're like, "Ooh, okay."
It's good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
So there is some anticipation for Mulan.
Yeah,
between the two of us, I think more me than you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna see it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's Mulan. It's my favorite animated movie from Disney.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna watch it. But at the same time, I'm not too excited for it. Especially for the price right now.
Oh, see that? Okay, now we're in good transition because now I will tell you that killed it for me.
Yeah, right?
So, yes, it did because I had no problem. This movie was supposed to come out at the beginning of the year.
It was supposed to come out, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
pushed back to summer.
Yes.
And then pushed back indefinitely. And then this price killed it for me. So, do you want to explain the price?
Well, yeah, the price right now because so mind you, this is not available on like Vudu, all sorts of streaming things. It's solely on Disney Plus.
Yes.
It's a Disney Plus exclusive. So mind you, whatever you're paying right now, yearly or just monthly, I'm paying monthly, so it's $7.99 or $5.99.
$6.99.
$6.99 a month. I'm paying for Disney Plus to get all this stuff. Now they throw this at me where I have to pay $30, $29.99 technically, $29.99 just to
watch it. Rent it just to rent it, not to own it.
Yeah.
So, okay. When you saw that price,
yes,
what was your initial thought?
I'm gonna wait until it's basically either available to rent for like $15.99 or even to buy on Blu-ray.
Okay.
Like I don't have to see Mulan right away.
Did it kill your excitement for it?
It kind of did. It basically did because mind you, I'm already kind of like, okay, I want to see Mulan, but I'm not excited for it. And then I'm just gonna basically the whole entire time I have Disney Plus, I'm just gonna stare at it constantly. Disney Plus reminding me Mulan's $29.99. And I'll be like, that's great. and just watch Heavyweights.
Yeah. All right.
I love that movie. I watch it all the time.
Oh my God. I have a point in my head that I kind of want to save until the climax of this conversation.
Okay.
Because this is a scary thing for Disney.
So I think I know what you mean too.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll leave. We'll
like
leave.
a scary thing moving forward for Disney Plus. Right?
Oh.
Yes. Okay. See, me and Brian are always on the same wavelength, guys.
We're the one person that came in and said, "You guys have known each other since high school." I know. We just understand. That's why this show exists.
So okay. So you mentioned that this is a split thing.
Yes.
Between fans.
So here's my thing. I don't like the fact that Disney's doing this.
Yeah.
And my thought is this. Who was it? It wasn't Universal, was it? No, it was Warner Brothers. They released Scoob.
Yeah.
For what was it? $15.99 to rent and then to buy $25. Something like that. Yeah.
Fair. It's not
You
bad.
also mentioned this in the first episode in issue 0.
Yeah.
You said The Invisible Man went out to rent.
Yeah.
Okay. How much did you pay for that?
I think I paid like either because it was available to buy or it was available to rent for the longest time for only. Oh no, was it buy or rent? It was,
I think it was both.
It was buy. No, it was first buy, and you get to keep it. It was like $24.99.
Yes.
And that was going on from basically from was it beginning of March until May, mid-May, where it was finally available to rent for $5.99.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, I had to wait like 2 months. And the movie was already out in theaters before then, too.
Yeah.
It was
Short run before they actually closed
but
everything down.
I think it had maybe a good month and a half run right before it was, the pandemic shut down and everything.
Yeah. So, okay. Let me get my thoughts again. So, you have The Invisible Man. You have Scoob. These are examples of movies that were supposed to come out in theaters, coming out to streaming services to either buy or rent for $25 or to rent for $15.99. I didn't put one thought into saying, you know what? I don't want to spend the $25. I immediately put that money down for Scoob.
Yeah.
And I bought it. And I have it digitally.
Yeah.
I put my money down. Granted, 4K movies on Google Play cost like $17.
Yes.
I bought Star Trek Beyond for $17 because I have a quote unquote 4K TV. And I know there are people out there going, you don't have a 4K TV if it's under $1,000.
Yeah.
Well, can I just believe it's 4K?
Yeah.
Shut up. Let me believe. So I bought it in 4K. Okay.
Yes.
So $17 for 4K movies. And for Scoob to come out, it's in HD. $25. I didn't think twice. It was a new movie that was supposed to come out. I was really excited to watch it. I wasn't, displeased with the movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you liked
it. So, yes, I don't mind putting that money down. When I saw that Disney said, oh, you need your $6.99 fee plus the $30 extra for Mulan, I was in shock. I said to myself, what in God's name makes Disney think that they can charge people, and what justifies that decision to charge people $30 plus a $6.99 fee? Yeah,
because the thing is that you could, on Amazon, you could buy, if you don't need an Amazon Prime account to buy digital movies.
No.
You could just basically just have an account and just be like, okay, I'm going to buy this. But what they do is that, if you have a Prime account, you get it for cheaper.
Yes.
That's fair.
Yes.
Same thing with Vudu. Vudu, you just basically set up an account, no fee at all, and you just basically buy whatever sales they have, or you have access to all their stuff.
Microsoft does that.
Microsoft does that too.
PlayStation Now does that.
Yeah. Like you said, Google Play.
Google Play does that.
You just have to have a Gmail account.
Yes.
That's it.
And then you could,
And you watch them on YouTube.
No,
essentially.
I meant because PSN does that.
PSN does that, yeah.
Where if you have the PlayStation
network,
you get a discount. Microsoft Gold gets a discount on certain games
because you already pay a service.
Yes. Okay. So I 100% agree with you. Do we want to get to the climax?
Let's do it. But the thing is,
Okay.
Go ahead.
So maybe let's see if we were on the same wavelength. Okay. When I saw this price, my initial thought was, Disney has no faith in its service. You're nodding your head. Okay.
Keep going.
So they don't, and I'm not going to make it out of this episode alive. So
we might get
stopped. We're going to see two people in black suits walking out of the store going like, excuse me, you need to come with us. Shut this podcast down. So Disney has no faith in its service.
Yeah.
Because, and you know, we can argue this. Well, Disney's allowed to sell, you know, this movie for $30 rent because it's Disney. I mean, you're already paying for overpriced merchandise, and look at their ticket sales for Disneyland. There's all these excuses.
It definitely shows you what they think of their
people, that
their
they're
consumers,
gullible, and you're going to pay.
Yes.
I said to myself, I'm not going to pay. We're on the same boat. We're not going to pay the $30.
No.
I even said this. I'm going to switch my Disney Plus membership. I get it for free right now because of Verizon. I took the deal.
There you go. Yeah.
But as soon as it's over, I'm switching over to CBS All Access. I'm going to watch Star Trek. Screw that. I even told my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm not going to pay for another $7 on Disney Plus. She's like, yeah, there's no point. I'm like, yeah. And my girlfriend, who is the Disney fanatic, has said to herself, I am not paying $6.99.
Same thing with my girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, here's the dangerous part about it. And maybe we're on the same length here because you nodded on it.
Yeah.
This is a dangerous thing for Disney because now they've started to open up the floodgates for this conspiracy where now people are going to assume that their streaming network isn't working out for them. What do they have on that streaming network? Nothing. The Mandalorian. We've said this for the last 2 or 3 episodes already. Yeah. The Mandalorian is the only thing that is majorly talked about from the Disney Plus service.
So there's one thing that I wanted to add that you haven't said yet.
Okay.
That I agree with everything. Now, this is another thing on top of that is that, okay, you see the Disney Plus stuff that they have on there, right? They have their older stuff. They have, but they don't have everything, right?
No.
Everything's not on Disney Plus.
It's at Netflix or on Hulu. Yeah.
So what's going to stop them moving forward if there's something that hasn't been on Disney Plus that they're going to do this again where it's like, oh, we found something from their vault, like something from their vault, and it'd be like, oh, you want to watch it? You got to pay a fee to watch it.
They're going to keep doing it.
They're going to keep doing it, and that's super scary now.
So this is the thing is that most people assume, and you're 100% right.
Yeah.
So most people are going to say, you know, because the defending side is, well, you already pay $30 for your film anyways when you go watch it with another person. So what's the difference about paying $30 here and $30 over there? Buddy, let me tell you this. $30 to watch in the theater is a different experience than paying $30 to watch it at home.
There's a reason why you're paying $30 to go to a theater.
Yeah, it's not because I want to spend time with the person. I'm not spending time with the person watching a movie. At least I'm not.
Wow, your girlfriend's like
excuse me. No, I'm sorry. Look. I love her. I love her.
No.
And if you're listening, I love you. But she knows when I watch a movie, you best leave me alone. I am paying attention to every detail, every corner, every little background detail to that movie to try to figure it out because I have access to a massive screen with great sound and a comfortable setting. That is why I'm paying $30 to go watch a movie in that setting.
I'm paying $30 to get popcorn because that's what my girlfriend wants.
Okay. So
every time we got to go to the theater, we got to get popcorn.
No, that's a part of the argument.
That's
it's oh, well, you're already spending that and more because of this and that. Buddy, you also have to understand, I'm not calling you buddy because, look, you're looking down upon me. I know.
I'm not your buddy, friend.
I'm not your friend, guy. Okay, most people don't realize this, but ticket sales work by having a percentage of it going to the actual facility that's running the movie and most of it going to the actual distributing, companies that, made and distribute this movie. And as time goes on, that percentage starts to get bigger for the theater and smaller for the company. Yeah. That's why it's very important for these opening sale tickets to outsell most other movies. Opening ticket numbers for the weekend box office are important. The first week it's out there, that is the crucial point because that is where most of those distributing companies are earning most of their revenue. Right? And as time goes on, it starts to get smaller. Yeah. When people say you're spending already $50 to watch a movie, what's $50 compared to $30? Again, it not only has to do with that, but if I'm spending money on snacks, that money goes directly to the facility. It's going to the theater. It's not going to the company. $30 there is going 100% to Disney.
Straight to Disney.
Right, it is not going to Starlight.
Pocket. Woohoo!
Yeah. Thank you. It's not going. Part of it is not going to Starlight Cinemas over here in Uptown Whittier.
Yeah.
No, by all means,
it's not. It's not going to go to the workers.
Yeah, it's not going to go to them. It's going directly into Disney's pocket. That is the problem with that. And again, you said it 100% perfectly. What's going to stop Disney from saying, "Oh, well, you know what? 101 Dalmatians, we took it off of there for free."
Because Netflix does that. Because Netflix is notorious for taking stuff out for the month, waiting a few months, and then putting it just back in there.
That's contract issues and stuff like that. They have to redo them. Yeah. Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah, that's the thing is that now Disney owns Fox. So, there could be months where there could be some sort of something happens where you won't see Avatar on there for the next month because they're legally talking to someone about it. Yeah. And the next month it's like, okay, wait, it's back up there.
It's there now.
But what if becomes an argument where it's like, Fox is like, oh, wait, you guys have all the X-Men stuff. Wait, we have something here that's contract issues and stuff. They take it off for a little bit,
and then Alien HBO.
See?
No.
Well, no. Well, that's the thing. Well, actually, Disney has said that they're not going to put any rated R stuff on there.
They better not touch it.
So Alien won't be on there unless.
No, shut up. Don't speak that into existence, okay? HBO has Alien,
but if something does happen where they do get the properties, what's going to stop them for being like, oh, you want to watch Alien? You got to pay.
I will
$15.
go to war. I will go to war.
See,
you don't touch Alien.
So that's what makes me afraid when they do stuff like this, because they didn't do it to Onward.
No, Onward
was actually available to watch first to pay on both Vudu, Amazon, Google Play, everything. It was available to watch to pay for like what $15 I think, and it was available for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then after that. It was done. It went on Disney Plus for free.
But did you notice that they didn't talk about their money or how big that movie was?
Yeah.
I've heard that the movie is great.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
I'm not watching that movie.
Why?
Personal reasons.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
You see. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Long story short,
I forgot.
Just so the viewers know, my dad passed away. So there's a lot of movies that I can't watch that have to do with the son father stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, Lion King is one of them. The Goofy movies.
Yeah, you haven't rewatched those movies again?
I can't. I don't want to. I'm not a person that cries. I suppress my emotions, which is not a good thing. Don't recommend it. If there's any listeners, do not suppress emotions.
I do watch stuff like that because if you guys don't know, my mother passed away.
Yeah.
Just about 3 years ago. So have you seen when that one Pixar short with Bao?
Bao? Yes. It made me think of my mom.
It made me think of my mom.
Yeah.
And she passed away a year or 2 years prior to that because it was in front of Incredibles 2. When I watched that, I was just done in a theater. And before Incredibles started, my girlfriend turns to me and she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I didn't know it was going to be like this.
With Coco, I think my dad passed away.
Oh my God, yeah.
A couple, I think a year or two afterwards. And I remember going out of the theater and I was like ugly crying to the point where I was like really suppressing it. And my girlfriend felt really, really bad.
My friends, it was funny because not funny, but I wasn't, I was kind of like putting off Coco, and my friend was like loving it. He goes, Renee, you got to see Coco. And then me and my friends went to go see it, and I told him, oh yeah, I'm here to go see Coco. And he's like, okay, cool. And he thought about it, and this was a year after my mom died. And he's like thinking about it. He goes, oh crap, wait.
Oh my God.
I told him in the theater. He texted me. He goes, so what'd you think of Coco? And I was like,
it's so bad.
Yeah.
No, you know what?
I get what you mean.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that. There's I'm not saying that they're bad movies.
There's
a reason for it. And you know what? Again, to the listeners or the viewers, do not suppress emotions. It doesn't do you well. I'm just trying to learn and trying to ease out my emotions and stuff like that.
It's still
got a little personal in this one, but you know what? That's why. I think we needed to explain it.
Yeah,
so
and I think that's a good way to segue to the ending.
Are we at the hour mark?
Yeah.
How far into the hour mark?
Just 2 minutes over.
Let me say this before we go on. So to
Your
conclude,
final thoughts.
My final thoughts to this. Going back to the climax of this point, this doesn't fare well for the Disney Plus service.
It doesn't look good,
because now you're essentially saying why. Like for me, my thought is this. Like I said, what do you have on Disney Plus that makes me want to purchase it for $7 every month? I don't want to watch any of your movies. Like I'm not religiously watching your movies every day.
Same here. I mean, okay, I still have Disney Plus, but the thing is that I have a niece that lives with me at home.
So that's where it fits you. We talked about this in issue 0.
Yeah.
Yes, I live with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
We don't watch Disney movies regularly, so we're just kind of like, well, whenever we want to watch one.
Hey, you can just buy it or rent it.
Or purchase the thing for $7 that month.
Yeah. Or if you see it at Walmart or Target, you're like, oh, cool. Just have it. You have it with you.
I like the fact that DuckTales is on it or the Mighty Ducks cartoon, things like that. That's where I will purchase the $7 right there.
Yeah.
But it's not a service that I essentially need. When I saw this price tag, it basically went to show that Disney does not trust its own service to make enough money. Now, why don't you just do where you released on, like how you released Onward? Just make people pay the $15. This is essentially saying that Disney wants as much money as possible and that it needs to release something on its service to get those numbers back up. It doesn't want to just be represented by The Mandalorian, because the big news that Disney tried to suppress when The Mandalorian was over was that subscriber counts were coming down. That was a massive piece of news that was coming out, and Disney tried its hardest to say, no, we're not losing subscribers. We're not losing them. We still have a good amount of subscribers. they want the viewers to try and stay on the service as much as possible.
Yeah.
So when Mulan comes up, they're going to talk about its subscribers going back up and saying, yeah, we had a lot of people pay the $30. They're more than likely going to keep making people pay for any of their premium services and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing. And I think that Disney they're not going to say it. They probably won't ever say it, but their service isn't working for them. I don't think it's going to be a massive service like Hulu or Netflix or Amazon Prime Video.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a but it's also not the Google Stadia.
No, that's the thing.
Or the Quibi of streaming services.
Does anyone use Quibi?
That's why no one talks about it, even though Reno 911 is on there and I want to watch it.
I want to watch it, yeah. And then there's like a show that has what's her name?
The nerdy girl.
Yeah, from Pitch Perfect and stuff.
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick. I want to say Christina Kendrick. I don't know why.
She's like every nerd's dream girl.
Yes. Yeah. And she has a funny show on there that has to do with a sex doll.
Yeah.
And
she's also on HBO. She's got an HBO.
She does have an HBO show.
HBO show as well.
Dang, she's hitting it, man.
Good.
Dang, good
she
for
still
her.
looks young.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
she's like, what is she, like over 30 now?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, Pitch Perfect, but I think she was in some stuff beforehand.
Well, she was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Bingo. There it is. Yes. Okay. But yeah, so that's my thought, is that I think that Disney has no faith in its service, and that's why it needed to put the $30 price tag. It could have gone for $15. I think that if it would have been $15.99 plus the service, I would have bought it. I would have been like, sure.
It. Yeah, it's okay. So it's under. It's still not even $20.
Yes.
Even. So it's like, okay, cool. It's $15.99. I have like 4 or 5 people that watch it by that time.
Yes.
If we rent it out and stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it is well over $20.
No.
And it's like, I have to watch that movie myself like either 3 or 4 times just to justify it, and I don't even want to do that.
Then bring 3 people over. That's the price of the ticket right there, buddy.
I'm charging people to come and see it at my house then at that point.
So, what's stopping something from doing this? You know how restaurants have outdoor seating?
Yeah.
What if like the city, let's say City of Whittier, has an outdoor movie night where they purchase Mulan and just have a movie night outside at a park.
Yeah.
6 feet distance wise.
Yeah.
No more than 2 people per party.
Like how they do it in Hollywood, where everyone, it's at the cemetery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a company. It's the city.
It's the city.
So what is Disney going to shut them down too for doing that? That's how they beat the city. That's how they beat the system.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We just provided someone some idea. But watch them get sued, and then they come after us for putting that idea out there.
Put the idea
don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Don't get us in trouble.
Don't do it. Wink.
Whatever you do not winks at the entire time. Do this, okay? We don't recommend people.
I'm doing air quotes.
Okay. Oh man, this. I don't know if it was the bang or if it was the topics, but we got heated
again. Bang makes the episodes better.
I think this is probably issue 10.
Issue 10.
Issue 10 was issue 10.
This is issue 10?
This is issue 10.
I can't, you know what? I just do these podcasts and I'm always excited to do it. I don't keep track of the numbering.
I will be honest with you. I look forward to every week we have to do this.
I was so excited just to record today.
Yeah, I was too. I work today. I work tomorrow. I'm like, screw that. I'm going to still show up to come and record. They're fun. Good. I have fun doing this. You have fun doing this. Yes. We do this. I think, look, we'll say this because Hamilton, our video, just came out this last Friday. It's got 50 views, which is the most viewed video for some reason.
Even from our podcast.
Yeah.
Too, which is, I mean, it's great. There's always that one video that always gets on a channel that, we never expect or no one ever expects will be, better than any other ones. But I'm glad to see that it's a video.
Yes, it's 50 views. Granted, whatever, oh yeah, it's only 100,000 something views.
Okay,
but
we've been doing this for
2 months, 3
months now. So
yeah, we got 3 subscribers from it as well because we were at 15 down or up to 18, so we're up there now. So we've got more subscribers coming in. So the next one that's going to come out is our initial thoughts on Fallout. That was recorded almost a month ago. I got to work on the edits and stuff like that. Like we said in the last episode, pretty much I'm the one that does all the edits and stuff like that. So that'll hopefully come out by Friday of this week if I can actually get myself to do it. So it'll be our thoughts on Fallout, written by or being produced by Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. So it'll be a big video for me.
Yes.
But yeah, so thank you guys for watching that and listening to our podcast, to the viewers and Everyone else who's been listening to our podcast. Great. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
And it's just, again, if you guys have any sort of feedback, anything at all, we want to hear it, because we love to hear it. It makes us feel better every time.
Yeah. We're well over our mark, so let me wrap this up real quick before Rene does this outro. If you guys are listening to this on YouTube, please go ahead and jump over to the Spotify and Podbean link, and if you have accounts there, hit follow on there. We post those the podcasts on the same day as on YouTube. And if you're listening to it on Podbean and Spotify, please jump on over to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe on there, like the videos that we have there, just to gain some traction. We love and appreciate all your guys' support. The more support we see, the more enthusiastic we'll be to keep doing more and more and more. And we keep saying this at our intro. Yes, we say aiming to be Whittier's #1 podcast. This is a universal. It's for everyone out there. But this area that we're in is our fortress of solitude.
Yes.
This is where we record. We want our name to be on the map here in our city, because this is where we started. Just like every band has their key city that they started from, this is where we want to establish our Hall of Justice.
Yes.
I said 2 different DC things. I don't care. It's our Fortress of Solitude. It's our Hall of Justice. It's our Watchtower. Whatever it is. Avengers Tower.
Avengers Tower. Avengers Mansion.
Avengers Mansion. All right. So thank you guys for listening. Renee, you want to hit the outro?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Thank you, citizens, for listening to this issue of Keeping Up with the
Kardashians.
Oh my God. No. I stopped, and as soon as I said car, I did my eyes. I rolled my eyes.
Just forget it. Okay, hit it again.
The bang's hitting me too much now. My mind's moving too fast for my own mouth.
It's all good, man.
All right. Thank you, citizens, for listening to this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour. This is Brian. Oh
Come on, Renee!
Oh my God. I'm nervous now.
It's okay. Take three.
Thank you, citizens, for listening to this issue of Keeping Up with the Nerds Variety Hour. I'm Rene.
This is Brian.
Coming to you from 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, recording at Undercity Comics. We thank you, citizens, and once again, we hope to see you on the next one.